I promise you guys, I really thought that everything was going to be set in stone after my last video, but these people just will not make up their damn minds. This news should come as no surprise to any of you. I mean, at this point, it's just the formula. But the target has changed yet again. That's right, we have yet another vote flip in the House. There is obviously going to be a lot to go over today, y'all. But first, if you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button below just so you can stay tuned, as I will be here doing these lovely recaps all season long. And also make sure you check out my last video too if you have not already, because that's really going to set the important context up for this video. Now, let's get started. So when we last left off, Red and Jag were stuck on the block together, and it looked like Jag was gonna be the one to leave. His game had been hanging by a thread ever since his eviction, and he hadn't really done enough to save it. He wasn't really able to solidly secure himself anywhere, so nobody really had any issue sending him right back out the door. But we all know how things go in this house in particular. Nothing is ever as easy as it seems. And as much as Jag was becoming a liability, Red was starting to make himself one as well. You see, the main reason why Red wasn't being targeted in the first place was because him and Cam had broken up, essentially making him a lone wolf in the game. Jag, on the other hand, had a few people at least fighting for his safety, which made him a bigger threat overall. But after the nominations were finalized, Red started giving people the impression that there may be hope for him and Cameron after all. He talked to Jared about how he could maybe see himself patching up things with Cameron later on down the line. And this conversation is gonna be the catalyst for Red's destruction. It wasn't caught on the feeds, unfortunately, but with just this one conversation, Red was able to put a seed of doubt in Jared's mind.
So are you nervous? Like, does this make you reevaluate things?
I've been reevaluating it since the beginning, but it just adds more to the side of Red possibly
going back
mending that relationship, especially because he knows that Cameron said he wasn't going to put Red up regardless.
Okay.
Now, I get that Red is trying to be a friend here, but Cameron is the house target. So Red's best bet is, unfortunately, to just ignore Cameron and try to assimilate with everybody else.
He knows now, like everybody has been,
We don't have to let her in.
Yeah, everybody now has been clear about how they feel with Cameron. So to attach yourself with Cameron is game suicide. And I think he knows that. So he won't be able to openly attach himself to Cameron in no way, shape, or form.
So after this word about Red and Cam possibly getting back together gets out, of course the house is going to go into a complete frenzy trying to figure out who should really be the one to be evicted. Red was always going to be the second option behind Cameron on the block anyway, so I'm not too surprised that the target redirected itself right back at him.
I think the fact that Red is, like, last night he was adamant that they were done. This morning he wakes up and he's trying to find excuses to forgive Cameron. That to me is very dangerous.
Even though Red isn't necessarily scary by himself, throwing Cameron in the mix does complicate things a bit. They're really mainly afraid of Cameron making the first big move and having people to back him up on it.
But here's the thing. Cameron really doesn't have a whole lot of people on his side, and he understands that. And that's why we got to make sure he doesn't pick back up with Red. If we leave Red in, they pick right back up where they left off. And I do believe he's going to come straight after the first opportunity he gets. He's going to come after Izzy, and he's going to come after me.
Which, to be fair, Cameron would probably want to strike first. But if he didn't have anybody to back him up, I'm not sure if he would have the strength to go through with it. So as the day goes by, more and more people are being clued in into what's going on. And by the end of the day, it is looking pretty solid that Red will actually be the one to be evicted. Not everyone is in on this plan though. People like Bowie, Jane, and Cameron are obviously being left out, which does suck for them, but for me, I personally love it. Look, as a fan, all I'm asking for is that this vote is not unanimous. Please, that's all I really want. All I ask for is at least one split vote this season. Can we make it happen? Even though these plans keep switching up day after day, I wouldn't be surprised if Red truly is the one evicted. This house has flip-flopped on almost every single vote this season, but they do usually end up sticking to their original plan. Like during week 2, Reilly was the original target, but they had heavily considered evicting Cameron instead, only to flip again and eventually settle on Reilly, their original target. The same thing happened in week 3. Hisam was the original target, but of course there was a little bit of flipping between Hisam and Cameron back and forth, but they ended up settling on Hisam, the original plan. And now the flip is between Red and Jag, but Red was originally their preferred choice. So it's looking like they're gonna settle on Red this time too, but we'll just have to see how this final vote shakes out. In other news, I kind of want to take a second to talk about Felicia and her game. First of all, she is one of my favorite personalities in that house, hands down. Seriously, A+ casting with Felicia. And during the first few weeks, her social game was looking absolutely amazing. She was in the core of all the major alliances in the house, and nobody was really looking to target her at all, even after her HOH reign. However, Felicia also has some of the loosest lips in that house, and it is not going unnoticed. It started with her blatantly writing out her Legends 25 alliance in front of America and Jag.
But we already have enough people without me doing that. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, we already have, well, our Legends 8, we already have 7 people. Even if I come down and you put up somebody on the other side, he said, I don't have to let Red come down.
My absolute favorite part about that clip was when Mecole steps away from Felicia as soon as she starts talking about the alliance, as if to physically distance herself from what Felicia is saying. I don't know, I just love the little subtle psychological tells like that. It does not stop there, however. Felicia is gonna continue to be messy about the information that she leaks. She's whispering to the ops about the plans for the week. She's getting on her own alliance's nerves.
Cirie just told me that it wasn't like it was Felicia. Like Felicia walked up to her directly and told her, which is the same shit we've talked about before.
Well,
also,
I told Felicia in the storage room I saw that and we told her, and I was like, Felicia, we're working together, and I gotta tell you, you can't talk to people like that. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I don't care. Yelled at me.
Cirie and Izzy are getting increasingly annoyed by her, which is gonna lower her social position in the game by a lot.
If it was just me, at least that would make sense, because everyone's like, oh, well, at least she's just going for Cory. Right. But, like, the way, from what I've heard, she's talking about me, but then she's also talking about you and Izzy, and she's also talking about Cam and Red, and she's also talking about America.
She don't know what she's doing. She's just a hot mess.
Now, Felicia isn't a huge target in the game right now, but I still think it's important to note because I don't think she's going to be lasting quite as long as I thought. Before this week, I really saw Felicia making it to the top 4 easy, but now I'm not so sure.
The problem is Felicia
I know. She kind of
thinks that she's working very, very tightly with Jared, so he has to keep up that appearance, and she thinks she's running me and Cirie, and we have to keep that up. I'm only mad because if I was truly working with her, I'd be furious at how she spreads shit around the house, but in some ways, she's fucking digging her own grave.
Like I said, I don't think she'll be a target anytime soon, probably not before the jury, but we shall just see. So of course I want to know, what do you all think of the plans for the week? Do you think Red is the right person to target, or would you rather it be Jag instead? Let me know in the comments below. Also, who do y'all want to win the next HOH? Look, as much as I'm pulling for Cirie in this game, I wouldn't mind the mess and chaos that came with an America win, or maybe even a Cameron win. God, I can't believe I just said that out loud. Of course, I will be back here to update you all if anything else big changes, but until next time, peace.